Hey, what's going on, film fans? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. We are the usual skeptics. Here we talk about entertainment news, movie reviews, streaming reviews, fan-related content, all that sorts of good stuff. We're here today to talk Miss Marvel Episode 1. We are talking spoilers. If that doesn't make it any more clear, click away, go watch the episode, come back and check us out. We're going to go in here and talk about the episode at nauseum here. Not going to do a play-by-play as always. We're just going to talk about the things that stand out to us, positives or negatives, good or bad, whatever have you. Wes, how you doing today, my friend? As always, wonderful co-host. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Ready to talk about this. So, because I think that this is going to be a great conversation, man. So
I think it is going to be interesting, but yeah. So just to preface everything, okay. So Miss Marvel is a character. Look, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know much about the character. Just like Moon Knight, kind of going in Moon Knight, I was not familiar with the character. I mean, I know generally who the character was, but in this case, we're dealing with a character who not a lot of people's heard of, and I commend Marvel for going after characters. What stories you can tell, because after losing Tony, Cap, others have maybe retired. We're going to see Thor here soon in Thor: Love and Thunder. We got Bruce showing back up in She-Hulk. So they're trying to introduce new characters. So I commend Marvel for going out and playing, and getting a character. But I have been hearing the past year or so, why are they getting this character? No one's heard of this character. Well, y'all said the same freaking thing about Iron Man back in 2007. And I grew up an Iron Man fan, and seeing that movie blew me away. Loved it. Anyway, it goes to show you that, wait until it comes out and reserve your opinion for then. Now, if you're not interested in the character, you're not interested in the character. Your excitement is all subjective, but don't say, oh, that character's not going to be good. Well, how many times have we been proven wrong, right? So you never know. So going straight into this thing, this episode I thought was quite solid in the sense of, I thought it was a good introduction to the character. I thought that this character I think is going to be very liked. I'm having a great time with it. I think I may be pronouncing her name wrong, but is it Aman Vellani? I may be pronouncing that wrong. If I am, I apologize. But her as Kamala Khan, I think she's very good. I think she's very charismatic. I think she's a good actress. And I knew that even before going into this. But seeing this, that really shows. Really thought she stood out. I love the chemistry between her and her parents. I thought it worked very well. Her and her friend. I think his name's Bruno. I'm really liking their relationship. They obviously have a little bit of history going on there. They used a different type of story introduction approach to this character that I thought was interesting. I'm not saying I didn't like it. I have actually little to not like about this episode, if any. Just based off the episode in and of itself, thought it was quite solid. I thought the pacing was quite good. I thought it was an introduction to what I think is going to be some great characters. Wes, you seem to disagree on me with some sentiments of mine. So what stands out to you in this episode as the introduction to Kamala Khan's Miss Marvel?
So, do you want me to start with my positives?
Whatever stands out to you. If you want to go in negative and come in hot later, totally fine too.
Oh, no, it's fine. The best part about this was the credits for me. I don't know. It wasn't something that I felt like I would watch again. And that's just, and like we said, this is my opinion on it. It doesn't have to be yours. I know Gabe enjoyed it, and that's totally fine. But like, this is where sometimes that me and Gabe disagree on things. I didn't realize that I was watching a superhero episode of Lizzie McGuire. That's how I felt. I really just didn't
I thought it
enjoy
was
it.
cute.
I didn't like it.
I thought it was
that it was
cute.
too teeny boppy. I was expecting more of a realistic style of storytelling, and what I got was, like I said, a Lizzie McGuire superhero style story.
Right.
I didn't like the fact that whenever she's in the lookalike contest for Captain Marvel, how she, she gets her powers from the band. I understand that. Like
Right.
I get the story. I get what's going on. But whenever Ant-Man's head rolls off of that big sculpture and it just continues to roll and roll, and I'm like, this. I looked at my wife, and we're both just like, I was like, this is not for me already. And then,
Really?
Thor's hammer comes down, hits the girl in the chest. She goes back and she's swinging on it. I'm like,
That had to have
this is
been
not
made of
real.
foam, because if that was stone or anything hard, that girl has some broken ribs. She seemed
I
to get
said,
away
she's
pretty
dead,
well.
homie. I'm
Yeah.
like, this
I,
is
I
not
do, I do
realistic.
agree
I
with
don't
that.
like, okay. So here's my whole thing for this. Are they looking for this to be something for younger, like teens and stuff like that, to look up to for that? If they are, that's great. That's that. Okay, that's that niche. I
Right.
wasn't ready for that. For me, I'm like, okay, are they pulling this? Are they trying to make her become part of phase 4 where she's going to be in these big movies? Because they are.
More prominent
This is not the
character.
way to do it.
Right.
This is not the way to do it. If this is just going to be like its own thing,
Well, we do
then
know
then
she's
I would.
coming in Miss Marvel's, the Captain Marvel sequel. We do know that she is joining Monica Rambeau and Brie Larson's Captain Marvel in the sequel coming out here soon. So we do know they're obviously building up to something like that. So
See, that just kind of like disheartens me, because I like, if they were going to do that, then they needed to make this, for me, a little bit more realistic. Not talking about the cinematography where they're texting back and forth, and there's that's just I mean, that's just, I actually like that, where
yeah, I thought it was
the
pretty cool.
stop
Thought it was
sign
used
would have
well.
been was the text messages. You know what I'm talking about?
Or the
Like that
neon
part of
light
the.
was an emoji or whatever. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Telling us what they were saying back and forth. That's actually pretty cool. I kind of like that.
Very creative.
But whenever it came down to
You're talking about the
the
actual
actual
story, the execution.
the execution of
Yeah.
everything, and her dad coming out in, like dressed up like the
The Hulk.
zombie Hulk, I'm like, no, like this seems like it was set as a sitcom, not what you
But
need
not in a
whenever you're
good
trying
way.
to, if she, not in a good way. And
Right.
that's whenever they're trying to set up, if they're trying to set up for her to be in those films, I just don't think this is the way to do it, because like I said, the way it's filmed, it's felt to me like it was a Lizzie McGuire-esque type sitcom thing.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm the only one in that, you know what I mean?
I will say
But
this: how you said the execution was kind of not what you were expecting. Now we didn't talk about it on our channel yet, but at the time when the trailer came out, I thought the trailer was pretty cute. I thought it was very interesting. I thought it had that John Hughes tone. It had that kind of feel. And I felt that John Hughes style, which I'll talk about here in a minute, in the episode. I felt that kind of flavor throughout the episode, and you kind of felt the same thing through the 3 Spider-Man movies with John Watts. You felt that, especially with Homecoming, not so much as in Far From Home or No Way Home. Obviously, different types of movies, but with Homecoming, there was a very Ferris Bueller-esque type of tone to it, that kind of 80s flavor, in there, that I thought, like 16 Candles or something like that, Pretty in Pink, kind of had that, and all that in a good way, kind of had that tone. I thought this, as far as execution, kind of had that same 80s style, coming of age, high school set, have that as a backdrop, a tone to it. I thought worked. I thought it was interesting. And talking about the trailer, I will say that this episode, it promised on that. It delivered on that promise of the trailer. Whether you or me liked it or not, you can't deny that this episode felt like the trailer. It felt, like I said, the execution of it all. It delivered on the promise of
no,
what the
it
trailer
delivered on the promise
said.
of the trailer. I
Right.
agree. But what did I tell you whenever I first watched that trailer? I
Yeah, that's
told
what I'm
you I was
saying. I remember you. I
I
remember you
told
saying
you
you
I told you I was
didn't
like,
really feel
if
like
it
it. Yeah.
I was like,
Was it
bro,
the
if
greatest
the
trailer of all time? No. Was it one of the greatest MCU trailers? No. But I thought it was
no, but I
cute.
told
Thought it
you
was
that
cute.
if the show goes like the trailer went, I'm probably not going to like it. And that's what I told you. And
You
that's what I
did?
told you back whenever we were talking about it. Before we even thought about doing this, like I was just like, oh, man, if it goes like that, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to like it at all.
Right.
Now, that being said, I am going to watch this. I'm not just like throwing it out and
You
being
want to
like,
enjoy it. You want to, because it's MCU. They've delivered on
correct.
so many things. I have yet to see something. As much as I don't like Hawkeye, I don't think it's hot garbage. As much as I didn't like Hawkeye overall, there was a lot in there that I did like, but I've seen worse, right? So as far as MCU movies, we're not going to go in all that, but I've yet to see an MCU film I didn't like. Iron Man 2, Thor Dark World, yeah, those aren't the best, but they're not hot garbage. But if you're compared to other films like Civil War and Endgame, Infinity War, the first Avengers, Captain America Winter Soldier, Kenneth Branagh's first Thor film, you're compared to a lot of that. That's a tall order. And for
Yeah.
for your weakest films, for your bottom tier films like Ant-Man 2, Thor Dark World, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, I like Iron Man 3 more than most people, but you have that kind
I
of lower
enjoyed Iron
tier.
Man 3.
Those are the, but I'm saying as an overall catalog, to have your
Yeah.
least favorite, movies in the bunch, and if those are quite good, then you're in good company. And I feel like, with these Disney Plus shows, not my favorite premiere so far. My favorite Disney Plus MCU premiere has been Moon Knight. I really like the Hawkeye premiere. I thought that was pretty fun. The WandaVision premiere I thought was great. But this was quite solid. I thought it was a solid episode. I'm eager to see what happens in episode 2. I can't wait to see what they got in store for this, because in Feige we trust. He's earned the benefit of the doubt, and the MCU has positioned itself since Endgame, and I think you can agree with me on this. The MCU has positioned itself where, talking about the MCU as a whole, saying, excuse me, they have to position themselves in a way where we lost all of our main hitters. Tony Stark, Cap, once again, you're losing your core Avengers. They're weeding out Thor. I think we're going to have Thor for the foreseeable future, but I do think they're kind of winging him out. But they have to introduce more characters. These actors are busy. They want to go do more things. The MCU's almost 15 years old. They're going to have to do more things, or I have to introduce more characters. I liked Eternals. I liked it, I think, more than most people. I liked Eternals a lot. But ain't no way Feige would have made Eternals back in 2010. Ain't no way. But with the MCU banner on it, I'm not saying having the MCU banner on it automatically makes it good. I'm just saying it has that intrigue now, where the MCU has done so good throughout the past 14 years that they've positioned themselves in a way where you throw anything out now, you're going to get the public interest, because, you slap, I don't know, let's say Captain Underpants was a Marvel character that no one's heard of. And you throw, anyone remember those books? Kind of dating myself a little bit, but you throw Captain Underpants and it has Marvel Studios logo on it. People are going to go out to see it. I mean, that's just the way the MCU is now. They've done so good in the past, and I feel like that's how they're doing with Miss Marvel, just like they did with Eternals. I feel like, you know what? They're trying new things. They need to bring out more characters, and I want them to introduce more characters. I want them to give off more representation. I want them to deliver more on female roles, and because this is only the third or fourth prominent female lead that we've seen in the MCU yet. I mean, we've had Brie Larson's Captain Marvel, we've had Black Widow, we've had Scarlet Witch, Wanda, although she came in as a side character, then ended up being a-list character in the MCU. So now you got Miss Marvel, and she's placed, 4th or 5th, but you have her in here. I'm wanting that representation and how they're showing that kind of stuff. And I like that. I do. And also the MCU has done a thing where they need to not, they've put out so much content that I feel like at this point, if they keep redoing what they do over and over and over and over again, it's going to get stale, and those box office numbers are going to drop, because we've seen that with the
Well,
Transformers
I
franchise.
mean,
We seen that with
I mean, I
Transformers.
agree. I
They
agree.
kept
Yeah,
doing
like
the stuff
I
over and
agree
over and
with
over
that. Like
again.
I heavily enjoyed Black Widow was great. I really enjoyed that one. I really enjoyed Captain Marvel. Like I love I really number one, I grew up in the 90s. I was born 86. I love like anything that has to do with like 90s stuff. Like
Yeah, same here. Yeah,
that's the era that I like really grew in.
right.
And that was perfect for me. So it was a great movie. And I get the representation of women. I think that it needs to happen. Like there are
Right.
a lot of great woman comic book
Especially
characters
persons of color
with
too.
yeah,
They
person of
they
color.
gotta do
Like
more of that as well.
I
Yeah.
think that it's great for the Pakistani and all that. Like having
Arabic.
somebody
Yeah.
represented for them, in Arabic.
Right.
Having them represented that way. You know, um, and
And I'm not and
having them.
I'm glad you mentioned that, and I'm sorry, but you bring up a good point. How you're bringing representation to that specific side of the demographic and community. My girls watched this episode with us. They ate it up, dude. Three white girls. They ate it up. Ages 9, 8, and 4.
Right. Well,
They
I
don't
mean, that's
typically
the whole thing.
watch. Yeah,
It's another,
they
and
liked it.
like I said, it was, yeah. You want to know why they liked it? I bet if you put on an episode of Lizzie McGuire, they'd like that too. So
You're not
I'm
wrong.
just
You're
saying,
not wrong. You're not
I'm not
wrong.
wrong. So, but that being said, like I'm done ranting about that. It's the biggest thing that I'm saying is like there needs to be more women represented whenever it comes to superheroes. There's a lot of great superheroes that are women
Yeah.
that are way more powerful than some of the male uh
Yeah,
superheroes.
they
You know what I'm
are.
saying? I mean, look at Captain Marvel. I honestly think that Captain Marvel and uh um Scarlet Witch, two of the most powerful
Most powerful.
superheroes we have to date.
Most
Period.
powerful. Yeah.
And that's fine. That's cool with me, man. Um, you know, um, but they need to be represented. They need to be represented in the right way. I want them to bring those characters in.
Because execution's
Excuse me.
important.
Yeah.
It's important.
But for me, like I said, I want to see where this goes. I just felt like this was really like
Not for
teenage
you.
youth
Right.
like style stuff. But I also am coming off of an episode of The Boys where I'm like, I don't want teeny bopper stuff. Do you know what I mean? And that may be my bias. But that's
Right.
what I'm saying. Like, um, maybe I should have held off, not watched, Obi-Wan first and then watch this, because you're just like you need to be in another mindset. Maybe I should have watched it earlier
There's so
and then
much
watched,
content out. Yeah, there's so much. And
you
maybe
know,
what we're getting at, what we spent the last few minutes talking about, what we're getting at is the MCU needs to expound on more types of characters instead of blonde-headed white males. They need to do more, but do it in a way that works. Now, not everything, like I said, without rebooting, the MCU is going to have to do different stuff. We're just going to have to accept it. They're going to have to do different stuff. Whether that works for you as an individual or not, that's up to you to decide. It's all subjective. And if you like it, great. We celebrate that. If you don't like it, well, that sucks. Hope you like the next thing that comes out. Wes obviously did not like this episode. I thought it was quite solid. I'm not going to say it's the best thing on TV right now. That mantel's for the boys. Okay, that mantel's for the boys right now. The Boys
my
is the
man,
best thing on TV
my
right now.
man.
Under the Banner of Heaven is no longer on Hulu. It's finished its run. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. The Boys is the best show on the best prime show on right now. Not just the best comic book show right now. It is the best show on right now. I didn't watch Miss Marvel or Obi-Wan expecting the greatest. I want this episode of Miss Marvel to be the best thing I've ever seen. I want it to be season finale of Breaking Bad. That's what I want to see. I don't do that, right? I don't go in there expecting Game of Thrones. I don't, because that's unrealistic expectations. Not everything is going to crap out gold. Not everything the MCU craps out is gold. Everything I've liked, there's a few things there's a lot of things they put out that's amazing, but the MCU has to put out things. And I think Miss Marvel's a good candidate for, you know what, let's try something. Let's throw it on Disney Plus. Let's see where it goes. Let's see how the audience reception, and it's received very well right now. And Wes, I'll
I
lead
mean, I
on
get
to,
that, but like talking about unrealistic, like that's what I'm
right.
talking about with the you know the big Thor hammer hitting her and doing all this other stuff. I'm like, dude, that's so unrealistic. Like, can we go back to reality for just a second and like actually, you know, talk about it? Like, I don't know. It just I'm gonna watch the rest of them. We're gonna review them.
Right.
And if I still think that it's not good, I will give my real,
Right.
opinions about it. Because I mean, that's what we're here to do, man.
And while you're
Like,
talking, while you were talking, I brought up the Rotten Tomato score for Miss Marvel, and as of today, June the 8th, at 11:15 p.m., we got the average tomato meter for critics is 97%. Almost all
yeah,
the critics enjoyed it. The
I'm
audience
sure.
score is
Were they
89%.
ages 8 to 14?
Oh my God. No. 9 out of every 10 people in the audience liked it. I liked it. In a thumbs up, thumbs down world, I liked Miss Marvel. I liked the premiere. I do. We don't give scores around here, by the way. We just basically say whether we liked or don't like. Um, and you know what? I can get why it wasn't for you, because Miss Marvel's not going to be for everybody. Just like Avengers Endgame's not going to be for everybody. Just like Captain America Winter Soldier is not going to be for everybody. Just like Star Wars isn't going to be for everybody. Miss Marvel is a specific tone. I personally like the John Hughes vibe. I personally like the lightheartedness of it, coming off of maybe The Boys or something as kind of grotesque as that can be, in Obi-Wan, the dark kind of tones, underlying tones they got with that. Miss Marvel is something different that's out. It's a very different show than Obi-Wan or The Boys or Under the Banner of Heaven or whatever. This show has a different tone than all the other. I think it's more on the lines of a Hawkeye feel than any other MCU Disney Plus show. WandaVision was very down to earth and dramatic. I'm saying tone. I'm not saying it's as good as. I'm saying Miss Marvel's tone feels more like a Hawkeye tone.
No, I get it.
You
I
know what I
get it.
mean?
But it's
Yeah.
more, but like
Right.
Hawkeye was more realistic. That's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't like it because it wasn't realistic.
Right.
To me, it wasn't realistic. Like I said, it felt like, and the reason I say Elizabeth McGuire, because I remember Elizabeth McGuire having like the paper cut out, like little stories and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Do you get what I'm
And I
saying?
think that's what they
Like,
were. Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm just like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
It
it
just
had me.
frustrated me, man.
Yeah, and it had me hooked as far as in the sense of I can't wait to see the next scene. I can't wait to see the next scene. I can't wait to. And there's a couple little nitpicks for me, like you said about the giant Mjolnir coming down and hitting that girl, and it's like, dude, that thing must have been foam, because if that was if that was probably 500 pounds of rock, like that girl, she's got some broken ribs. She's going to the ER.
Even if
She's
it was
gonna
plaster or if it was
or
just,
yeah,
I mean, it
plastic,
doesn't matter
something like
what it
that.
was.
Right.
Even if it was foam, she's hurt, homie.
Yeah, and
She's
then
hurt.
she just kind of gets up, dust off. I think her powers, we didn't get a big sense of her powers. I don't know a lot of Miss Marvel, just like Moon Knight. I went in Moon Knight not really knowing exactly what this character was. Now, by the end of Moon Knight, I feel like I have a little bit more knowledge and I understand the character a little bit more. Maybe we'll get that with episode 2. Maybe we'll get a little more insight. And maybe now that the story has started, because we've seen this with TV shows and movies before, once we get through the first act, if you will, because that's what this show felt like. It felt like the first act of a movie, because by the end of the episode, she's like, holy crap, I got powers. And that is one thing that bugs me in the MCU overall, is it's like, you get superpowers, you get superpowers, you get superpower. And I know that's gonna happen, and I just need to get over that. But I can't help to, if I don't like something, I'm gonna say it. If I like something, I'm gonna say it. Wes and I obviously disagree with each other on this, and that's perfectly fine. It's all subjective. And if you like this show, we celebrate that. And if you didn't like the show, I hope episode 2, if you give it a shot, I hope episode 2 gives you another chance. Now, me personally, Wes and I are going to finish this out, just because we do this YouTube channel. We want to finish it out, and we will talk about it. But generally, if there are shows, if this was a kind of C-list show that came out and we watched the first few episodes, it's like, yeah, it's not for me. Well, we're not going to waste our time with it. But if it's a show that people are going to be talking about, it's got the MCU label on it, we're going to watch it. I mean, if it's Star Wars, something like The Boys, or
But
Invincible,
I mean,
or
that's the beauty
we're going to watch it.
of this. This is why we did this, Gabe. I mean, you
It
talk
is.
about
It
that, but
really
like,
is.
this is why we did this, because we don't agree on things.
That's what makes it
Oh,
fun.
you know what
Because
I'm
if you
saying?
and I
And that's what
agree,
makes
then
you
you
know,
should have
and
done your own channel and I should have done my own. But the fact that we've
correct.
come together and can have those opinions on things, and like I said, I mean, maybe episode 2 will be great. And I hope it is. I hope this show
No,
does
hey
good,
man,
you
hey,
know?
listen, I hope it is too. That's why I said I was like
Right.
this like this opening episode. I was like, oh man, I
Cuz
don't know if I can do
cuz
this, but
well, cuz
I'm gonna watch.
Wes went in Obi-Wan, telling me, look, I'm not a big Star Wars fan. I like Mandalorian, I like Boba Fett, all that kind of stuff, but not a big Star Wars fan. And I was like, man, well, I hope you like Obi-Wan, right? And he watches Obi-Wan episode 1 and he texts me, he's like, bro, that was actually pretty cool. So, I mean, I can see a show like this flipping around. Who knows? I may not like, I mean, we could be here a week from now and I might not like episode 2 and you might be like, okay, I'm fully in, right?
Right.
I think the Moon Knight premiere is my absolute favorite Disney Plus MCU show premiere, at least of right now. We got She-Hulk coming out. We'll have to judge it, when it
She
comes
Shrek.
out. But she Shrek. I do think Tatiana Maslany is going to kill it in that role. But
I do
again,
too.
the actress again, I can't. Oh, that bugs me because I can't remember her name. I think it's oh gosh, I'm
It's okay.
flunking on the name here, but I
We
think she's
have
great.
things
Amon
at our
Villani.
fingertips.
I think it's Amon Villani, if I'm pronouncing that right. I think she's great. Seen her in several things before. I think she is a phenomenal talent, and can't wait to see what she does moving forward. Look, I can't wait to see episode 2. We'll just have to go in and judge it on its own merits. So, Wes, any thoughts to close out your thoughts about the episode? Or
Um,
maybe, well, a two-part question. Any other thoughts about the episode? And part 2, question number 2 is, what are you looking forward? What's going to change your opinion on Miss Marvel in episode 2? What's going to have to change in your opinion?
okay, all right. So I know that I ranted about how much I, didn't enjoy this episode and everything like that. And that's my personal opinion because I did feel like it was like an old school Disney show. So which is it's okay in its own right, and some people like that, some people don't. For me, I want things to start becoming more realistic. I don't know if it will, and that's okay if it doesn't. I'm gonna stick it out to the very end because I want to watch that. This is why we do the show, man. So I'm gonna give my honest opinion every week, no matter if I liked it, no matter if I didn't. It's my opinion. Everybody has one. So I really think that to some people this is going to be a great show, and I applaud that. I want people to enjoy. My number one goal is for people to enjoy whatever they're watching. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that a lot of people like that I don't like. There's stuff that I like that other people don't like, and that's okay. The main thing is I think the biggest thing that we can take away from this is that the MCU is bringing brand new characters and these you know, great things for us to look forward to in the future whenever it comes to superheroes as a whole. And, I mean, you're talking, whenever I was growing up, like whenever I was younger, this wasn't even thought of. You know what I'm saying? It
Yeah.
was either Batman or Superman. That was it. That was the two. That was it,
It was either Bat
man. That's what you.
Nipples or some Superman.
Oh, I was before Bad Nipples, bro.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but
a
still,
little bit
I know
older than you, but
just a little bit.
no, like legit. But like it was literally Batman or Superman, and
Yeah,
that's all you had.
and even I remember
So
that. Yeah.
this just excites me so much. Like whenever they came out with Iron Man and everything else, it really excited me so much that we've got all these great characters that we can kind of love and enjoy. And I grew up reading comic books and doing things like that, and I really enjoy it. But that being said, back to the question, man. I just what they can do to kind of get me back in is kind of make things a little bit more realistic. I understand that that's the John Hughes type thing, but with all the other series kind of being in a more serious, realistic tone, I need that.
Right.
But like I said,
Let's see where it
um,
goes.
let's see where it goes. Her name is Iman.
Was it Amon? Okay, Amon
Yeah.
Vanelli. I hope I'm
Uh,
pronouncing that right. But
but
she was
no, I
great.
think
I
she's
thought
great.
she
I
was
think
good.
she's a great representation
I do too.
for the
Yeah,
Pakistani community and
and
everything like
filmmakers as
that. I
well. Yeah,
really do.
yeah.
You know,
I can't
so
wait for episode 2. But Wes, we're going to sign off here. Where can people find you, my friend?
they can find me on Twitter at Wes Rathbone 86. Please come and follow me for a little bit. I just usually retweet Gabe and everything, but man, I've enjoyed it, man. I really enjoy this channel, so I hope you guys do too. If you do, please subscribe, like, share, comment, do all that. Tell me that I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm right. I'd rather be right than wrong. But please just let us know what you
Oh
think,
man.
man. It is what it is. So,
Yeah.
Gabe, tell them where they can find you at, my friend.
All right, guys, you can find me simply at Voice of Film. Just search for me on Twitter or TikTok. TikTok, I post daily content just like I do, just like we do here on this channel. It's just kind of more, personal, a little bit over there. Talking again, same thing from over here, Phantom related content, movies, streaming, all that kind of good stuff. Look for us there. Like you said, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Share your thoughts below. Let us know what you thought about Miss Marvel. Please let us know your comments. What did you think about? Where does it rank as far as your premiere? Now, again, who knows? Maybe by next week our opinions could be totally opposite. I hope we both enjoy it. I do. I do hope we both enjoy it. But it's a show and it's art. Art hits us all in different ways. So we'll just have to see. Drop your comments down below and we will see y'all in the next video.